It's giving me a little error that's not letting me log in. Well, not letting me launch the PTU client anyway. I wonder if it's because it's still copying my account over. It might take a moment. Yes, it's not confirming that it's sent it over yet. So it may take a few minutes. Thank you, Michael. So yes, if you are Wave 1 enabled, so if you are concierge or a subscriber, Wave 1, sorry, for the 3.2 PTU has literally just landed. It landed about 5-10 minutes ago. So you can try and download the client and get in yourself. Although, from what I can see, as soon as I've just copied my account across, it's taking time for the accounts to transfer across the PTU. So sorry it's a bit quiet and everything. I'm sorry if I'm quiet. If you didn't read the little thing I put in the community post the other day, I am not very well. I'm very sick. I have a severe sinus infection in the left-hand side of my face. I've not been at work all week after like the busiest period in the that's in my working year at the hospital where I work at, so it's kind of a bit of a double whammy. So that was great fun. So yeah, I'm just waiting for 890 stuff. Hopefully I can purchase one. They you know, they put it up for sale when they're going to drop it into the game, and I'll be able to grab one with the credit I have. And I'm going to be live streaming Classic World of Warcraft next week, because obviously Classic WoW launches, and I'm going to get involved in that whole nostalgia trip. So I'm going to be playing a warrior who is going to be a tank. So I was amazed the first time round, all the way through until Wrath of the Lich King, when I started playing a Death Knight. Let's see if it's copied over. Not yet, by the looks of it. I imagine their lovely account servers must be getting absolutely hammered. Hello, Echo. If you watched the video today, Michael, that they did on the Star Citizen Live thing, they did a tour of it, and it does indeed look very, very pretty. I'll be overjoyed if I can manage to grab one in some shape or form. Outside of the PTU, that is. Here we go. Let's log out the launcher. Let's say my account has been copied. Whether this will work or not, we shall see. Oh no, it's launching. Here we go. I'm not going to bother much with character creation stuff. Just like everyone who may be watching, I just want to get in this thing and go and explore it. Okie dokie. Let's hope that these servers work, shall we? Let's just give us some basic gubbins to play with for now. With the typical hair and eyes that I normally do. Try an EU server first and see if it's not rammed with people trying to spam 890 jumps. Yay! It was a pretty fast load for a PTU. Normally I'm expecting it to take forever. Maybe I'm just lucky and I've actually managed to get into a server pretty quick before a majority of other people have. I'm normally very fast when the PTU comes up, but never normally that fast enough. Oh no, there's another body there. Now, I don't know where these things spawn, so we shall see.
I'm sorry. Your vessel exceeds the size limitations for our pads.
Huh.
Unfortunately, our automated system is unable to
Okay,
access that
so
ship at
I
this
had
time.
thought they had added
Apologize for any inconvenience.
areas for Olisar to spawn it, but I'm guessing they haven't yet.
Your vessel exceeds the size limitations for our pads.
Unfortunately, our automated system is unable to access that
I
ship
guess
at
for
this
now,
time.
we're going somewhere
Apologize for
else.
any inconvenience. Please try again later, or select a different ship.
Your ship has been delivered to the following landing pad.
Yes, I'm very much guessing it's Hurston and ArcCorp that will be able to spawn these things. I did see in the patch notes that they had added some bigger pads at ArcCorp, but Hurston's closer, so we'll try there first. I have Ollie parked at Ollie unlocked. Okay. I'm going the wrong way. I can see a 600i. I can see my Herald. That looks like a jump over there, yep. We're not going to go to it. We're going to fly to Hurston so we can actually go around and do something. I don't tend to play music whilst I'm doing it, Michael, because my voice can get very quiet sometimes, and I kind of just like to listen to the normal Star Citizen music. I don't want to be one of those cringy Twitch streamers that has like Spotify playlists going all the time. It's like Hurston's image doesn't want to render in there. Welcome all to my 890 jump located near Port Olisar. Shall we go and have a look and see if we can get in? I just want to kind of go and have a look. If there's other people moving around it, it might be a bit more fun. Although the only problem is that it's Olisar, so it might be quite laggy. Aegis event tomorrow is going on as far as I'm aware. Okay, so first impressions. This thing is fucking huge. It's very pretty. It is as big, or if not bigger, lengthwise than a Reclaimer. So it's already a bit of a monster in that regard. Let's see if we can get in the side airlock here before whoever's in control of it decides to wander off. That's one door. I need this door to open as well. Said help access. That's not working. That door's not working. Let's see if we can get in another way. Maybe through the giant cargo bay in the bottom. That looks like a landing gear, which is massive. That landing gear alone is like the size of a Constellation, which is quite scary. Hello. I wonder if this will work. So this Is this the passenger elevator? I didn't actually know because I didn't see them use this on the stream. It would make sense, wouldn't it? Does it have gravity? It does not like the 600i one anyway. Ow, kind of need to be hiding in here. Yeah, I didn't think that would work. We'll just try this one instead. There's got to be a big button for the cargo one somewhere. There it was. Okay, called it. If you didn't watch the stream today with the Star Citizen Live guys, this thing comes down in 2 parts, so it might take a moment. I'm sorry if I'm missing questions and things, I'm only running on one screen at the moment. And obviously I'm playing it, I have to tab out to read your guys' comments. We'll go up as much as we can. So this thing goes up into here, as you can see. I'll be able to stand at long last, and then this door opens here. So it's kind of like the Constellation crew entry lift. You can see this bit opens up once it pressurizes, and then this takes you back up inside. I don't actually know what this thing is when I saw it on the stream. It looks like it's malfunctioning at the moment, but I know it's not part of a jump drive or something. I wonder if it's like gravity generator or something like that. So you've got bits and bobs here. These are like avionics components. I'll show you the engines quickly because the engines are around here as well. So here we've got one of the engines. I wonder if they've added the VFX in for this now. Okay, they haven't. So they said earlier on there's a missing VFX piece here that still has to be done in polish. So that's one engine. There's one either side, so the ship has 2 main engines, as you can see. Engine room B. And here we go. Better to go in the hangaway. Well, we'll see, won't we? So what we got here? So this looks like one of the armories, if it lets me in, because it shut the door on me. Ah! It won't let me in. So this is one of the ladders here. So they enabled it so... Oh, escape pods. I wonder if this is the crew ones. Yeah, these are the crew escape pods here. So this is the crew side of the ship, if you like. This is the galley. So this is the crew galley. So if you have a chef, or if you fancy just being a good cook, then this is where food will be cooked. It can be sent up to the crew kitchen and the dining lounges. As you can see, the elevators are listed through the elevator here, so you can cook food there. You can tell I'm really ill. You can cook the food down here, and then you can send it up to wherever it needs to go. This, I believe, is a freezer. So this is like a walk-in refrigeration room for food. And many herbs, or maybe just spare plants if the ones in the ship in general just die because you don't look after them. There's more of those here. Go through here, and this is leading through to crew quarters. So you can see they've got the bar thing that's the same thing that's at the back end of the 600i when you come down the stairs. So you've got like the bottle holders here and various things that dispose stuff. This here is the crew lounge, so you've got a little resting area for your crew members here. These are the crew quarters, which are very important, as you can see when I walk up to them. Unlike the 600i, which has had that really awful wooden room, all the crew members now have their own area. So I don't know if these open at the minute. It doesn't look like they do. This is one of the beds. These bits don't open, but they have like their own area with storage, and they finally get, as a crew member, you finally get some privacy. So you're not going to have to... Oh no, now I'm trapped in the crew room. You finally get some privacy as a crew member. Please, let out. Just want to live. I wonder if they've actually locked the ship now and they're moving. Well, that's awkward. Can I get in the bed? I can. I wonder if I get up again it might activate the door. No. Well, that's fucking awkward, isn't it? Send help! So you can leave, you can enter the crew quarters, but you can never leave. That's a pain in the bum, come on. Found one bug to report to the issue council then already. Time to do Sudoku. At least this PTU server is being pretty stable. Try and spawn one of my own again if someone managed to spawn one here.
I'm sorry. Your vessel
He's
exceeds the
still not
size
doing it.
limitations for our pads.
Yes, it was an in-depth crew quarters tour. Right, we'll try and get back on that one, seeing as he's not going anywhere. Whoever spawned it is being very kind and isn't trolling people, he's actually letting people explore the ship. One advantage of having this one here as we make our way back to it is that you can see how some of the other ships size up in comparison to it. Because this thing is massive, massive, massive. As like I said, as big as, if not bigger than a Reclaimer lengthwise. Someone's got a caterpillar next to it now, so that'll be a good comparison as we get closer. There's a very funny thing there that I've noticed where it doesn't tend to sort of pop in. Oh, there's another one. You can see how it, like, the texture's a bit popped in and out there? It looks like they just clipped something over there. There must be a pad on Olisar that's able to spawn them. I wonder if it's on one of the other struts. So just coming in here you can see some of the other ships next to it. With a caterpillar a little distance away, and the caterpillar is nothing small by comparison. Let's see if we can get in this side door here if this one's open. That one looks open. It just closed. I don't know if someone opened and closed it. Hey hey! So, jumping back in, as we couldn't on the other side. These are EVA suits. It seems a bit daft having them in the airlock, but there you go. These are where you can store, like, spacesuits. These are not escape pods. I have no idea what that was. And this is where you're kind of meant to come in. So this is where that elevator that I was trying to get in earlier on brings you. So we're going into one of the main areas, and this is called the atrium. So as you can see, it's big, like a little loungy area there. You got this fantastic panorama view. It's going to look epic if there's a planet or a moon above it. In here we have some guest quarters, so there is 4 of these. So when you have guests on board, or you know, the VIPs, if you're transporting VIPs as this ship is wont to do, you can bring them into one of these quarters. Got a lovely bed. Each one has an aquarium. My fish tank fetish has been fully realised again, so we've got fish tanks. I love fish tanks. That's why I like the Constellation Phoenix so much. We have an ensuite bathroom and this like big shower thing that they were loving on the stream earlier on. It's like a big waterfall shower, jump out of here. There is an identical room across the way there, just under that staircase. Not staircase? In there, sorry, in that corner. Running around here. This is the spa area. So on this deck, you can see someone's running around the pool there. You have a jacuzzi with like an aquarium floor that's very strange. And a little waterfall there in the back. You have like a sauna-y steam room area, so you can get some steam rooms in here. You've got some showers for afterwards. So this is the bit of the ship that's essentially like a floating health spa. It's so excessive and I love it so much. And changing rooms here, and this is the pool that everyone loves so much. So, sorry, I was just checking the chat there. So, someone's going in. Apparently this pool, as you can see, is safe to walk in. This person's doing it with a drink in a spacesuit. The only way you die in here is if you take your helmet off and then put your head under the water. So you literally have to go and find yourself with a Darwinism award by sticking your head under the surface of the water and inhaling deeply. So yeah, but I love the roof reflections in here. Let's move on. I'm just trying to keep this to a quick tour in case this thing despawns until I can go and get one of my own. Over here, this is one of the escape rafts. So the 890 has 2 of them, and these are escape pods for your guests, but they seat 8 people and then like fire out sideways. The room in here is essentially one of the personnel pods from like an MPUV, you know, the little cargo runarounds that are in the game. Go over here, same thing on this side as you can see. Can't remember what's in here. Oh yeah, so this is the ladder that's down to the engineering where I showed you earlier on. That's an elevator. We'll go up a flight. I'm not sure what's actually... Is that where that elevator is? Yes, so we don't need to go that way. We've got these big stairs going up the atrium here. This big sculpture in the middle. This gorgeous, gorgeous deck up top. And in here you have the other crew quarters. Guest quarters. So you've got one on this side, a little sort of waiting area in between, and you've got one on this side. And they all have little details in them, like different details like the chess set and stuff, and the sculptures and everything, but they're all more or less the same. You've got another elevator, and back through here is the rest and relaxation area. So you've got a big bar, and I'm going to try not to run too much around here so it's a bit more enjoyable. So the frame rate's not too bad. So there's, looking out the side, you can see the solar panels of Olisar over there. That was the caterpillar firing up. So you can go and have a look out here so you can see the caterpillar and stuff outside. It's very cool. Go this way, and in here is something that if I do get to one of these, if I manage to get one, I feel maybe utilised a lot by our organisation from synchronizers. So you've got more like a sort of private bar in here and a private dining area, and then if you walk around here you've got like a big meeting room, so like a board meeting room where your organisation can all come together and plan their evil and nefarious deeds for the universe, as synchronizers will probably do. Or normally it'll just be something about orgies and everyone jumping in the pool if our organisation history is anything to go by. Oh, there's another 890 there, look, parked just outside. I may have to try and be sneaky and get a screenshot of that because that's quite pretty. I like that. The only thing that is a bit weird at the minute in this ship, I think, that was commented on in the stream, is that the reflections and everything in here is like, the glare is a lot. They need to tone it down a couple of levels. See if you guys have put anything else in here. Michael, if you own the ship in heaven, rent out heaven and live in this ship. Exactly, it's going to be a house in space. That's why it's so cool. I can't remember the key to reset the camera. There we go. This is why I love this thing. I said in the Synchronizers Discord earlier on that it's kind of a jack of many trades and master of none, so it tries to do many things, but at the same time it doesn't try to prove itself too hard at doing them, you know, like some of the other ships have struggled to do. Like some of the ships are combat ready, but they're not fantastic in combat, like the M50 Interceptor. The M50 is a racer, even though it's called an Interceptor, but if you've ever flown it, it's actually a really crappy combat ship. That's just one example. There's other things that are like that, but the 890, it is very pretty. It's full of tons of luxury and shiny things, but it doesn't try and outclass lots of other ships in that regard. You know, if it's a fighter, it's not trying to be a fighter. If it's a command ship, which it can do, because I'll show you the bridge now, you can use it as a command ship, but it's certainly not going to be as, you know, utilitarian at it as, say, like a Javelin or maybe another command carrier. Maybe it's a command carrier we're getting with Aegis tomorrow, or later on today rather, because it's 2 o'clock in the morning as per the new event. So up here you got some more relaxation areas just to look out over this gorgeous space, and in here with an Eclipse currently, oh, the door was already open, currently trying to ram it, like that scene out of Star Wars where that A-Wing flies into the bridge of the Star Destroyer. This is the bridge. Somebody already sat in the seat, as you can see. Oh, he's trying to get in the hangar, okay. I didn't see what he was doing. I don't think you're going to get that in there, mate. That's a little bit too big. Not that I'm enthralled trying to watch. So if you weren't aware, I'll go down to the hangar in a minute, but the 890 can house officially 2 small ships. So it comes with 2 85X snub fighters, but people have been on the Evocati, we've seen pictures of things like people throwing pretty much anything that can physically fit, as this guy just tried to do in the Eclipse, as you can see. They've been throwing many ballistas and seeing how many P-52 Merlins and Archimedes they can slam into it and all those kinds of things. So it's meant to fit 2 small ships and has landing pads to accommodate 2 small ships, but as has everyone's want with Star Citizen, that's not going to stop people from throwing everything they can into it. Just walking across here, you can just appreciate how big this space alone is. Like, this is, if this was open, you could land like a freelancer or something in this space. It's just colossal how big this ship is. And going backwards, this is the place I absolutely adore and can't wait to call my own. So this is the Master Suite, or the Captain's Quarters, or whatever you want to call it. It's rear facing, so these windows look out and they're like, this is above the engines. The 2 engines are below us either side there. There's already people being sneaky in this room. Can I get in? Or are they too close to the door? They're too close to the door. We'll go in this side instead. So as you can see, it's got different subsections. So he's got his own dining area, and he's got his own bar, the rest and relaxation area, and then down here he's got his own bedroom with all his own personal things. And I did see, I know I saw it somewhere, maybe it's in the other room. So yeah, he's got his curved flat screen that Disco Lando was raving about, so you can lay down and watch the latest series of whatever. We've got his own ensuite bathroom in here, so you can see he's got his own like waterfall shower. And then in this side, if this door works, there we go, you can see more lounge and relaxation area. I know it was around here somewhere, but I know he's got a fish tank. I know I saw one. I saw one on the stream. Where did I see it? Was it in the bathroom? I don't think it was in the bathroom. No. Because I was like, I can put my subscriber fish in my own fish tank when they add that feature. Is it this thing? No, it's not this thing. Where was it? Oh, we were moving. We are navigating. Maybe he's just touring Olisar. Here it is. Oh god, I'm blind. Yeah, so here we go. Captain's fish tank. Maybe not quite as elegant looking as some of the others in the guest quarters. Oh, look at that thruster. So yeah, like I said, this is looking out onto the rear of the ship, so you'll be able to see the engine contrails in atmosphere and such. Okay, let's carry on. Let's see if we can go to the hangar, shall we? You see there's a little bit of lighting when the container streaming sort of wobbles a little. That's cool. Just looking at Olisar out the back there is pretty awe-inspiring. Can you imagine if it's like Hurston or ArcCorp that you're going over? There's the second 890. Right, now I'm going to find an elevator and we're going to go down to the hangar. We'll see if we can find a door that will lead us down to the hangar anyway. I have to admit, I don't know this ship very well, so hopefully this one will take us places. Oh, that was send elevator. Okay, so that is literally just the passenger one for getting on board, so that's not one that you can use to freely navigate. We know there's elevators in here. There we go. Spa, pool, foyer, lounge. Calls the elevator. Okay, I want to go to the hangar. Access, please. Here we go. So, guests. So this is the guest side. Is it? Or maybe it's telling me that this isn't the guest side. Anyway, I know that the hangar has two sides. Like two corridors of access to it. So here's the cargo bay where we were. This is where I couldn't get in before. Okay. And here. Yes, so this is the guest side because it has this comfier looking area here because there's crew quarters. This here is the medical bay, so this is pretty important to show you as we go through. So if you're injured in the game when they add these mechanics, this place has a little like med bay, just a little sick bay with this. That does something. Oh, you can actually get on the bed. Okay, I wonder if the console does anything. No. So they've said that this isn't somewhere that you can respawn if you are killed. It's not quite that serious. It's not like an Apollo or the medical module that the Endeavour is going to have. It's not quite that sufficient, but it's enough to heal major injuries. So what I found cool when I was watching the stream earlier on, as you can see here, it's got isolation controls, so you can, if they're sick, if someone's got a cold and you don't want to get ill because they're a peasant and you're the captain, you can just lock them in here until they heal, you know, until you can get them into a port and you can throw them overboard. Here is, because this is the guest side, as I said, the guests have a waiting lounge for the hangars. So if you've got multiple people wanting to use the ships or make use of the hangar to go in and out, they can wait in here. And here there's a little airlock, and here is the he's actually done it. I'm stunned. This is the hangar bay. So it's lowered at the minute, as you can see. This very, very crafty Eclipse pilot has somehow managed to fit his Eclipse in this sodding thing as an example of how not to use this thing. It's not meant to fit in Eclipse. You can see here, clearly labelled on the floor, which this guy was ignoring. You've got 01, and then a bit further there, you've got 01 marked on the floor, but a bit further, if I can get around without dying to this thing. This one will say 02, because it has two pads. Specifically two small landing pads for landing on. I'll naughtily shove that thing upstairs in a minute and see if we can get it back outside and call the lift down to show you how it works. I can't remember. Oh, this is just a lift, so we'll see where this one goes. Turret. Okay, so that's a turret access. So there's several turrets around the ship. Now, shall we be cheeky and see if we can send this thing back up? Let's see. So you can see that it's got several sort of access panels for those that want to use them. As far as I understand, you can't send these up separately. The whole thing has to go up, I'm sure you'll see in a moment. Is that a basketball hoop? So they can use this as a basketball court when it's not a hangar. I love that little touch. That's fantastic. I wonder if it's got another one at the other end. Please tell me it has. Oh, it hasn't. Never mind. I didn't see that in the stream. I didn't catch it. Okay, let's see if we can send this up. So, as you can see, open doors. I love the little part at the front there that moves away. That's cool. I've not seen the opening animation. I assumed it just kind of opens sideways, didn't it, or slides away. Okay, let's see if we can take this up. It'll take a moment. Send it! Send it up. I wonder if it's broken, because the Eclipse has broken it. Maybe it's broken the physics. Yeah, it looks like it has. That's a shame. But at the end of the day, it's cool to see an Eclipse in there anyway. I'm not judging. That's cool. Okay, I'll close the doors now so you can see the animation as well. That's awesome. I'm sure the people who own a Polaris... Oh, there's one of the turrets. Oh, there's a man in a turret here. When the people who own a Polaris... Oh, he freaked out. Oh no, he's just getting his mobilglass out. Will be freaking out when they can see the the kind of abilities these hangars can have now when they want to use their Polarises and start storing like Gladiuses and Sabers and fighters and things in. It's going to be very cool for them. So if we go in this side, this is the crew side, and as you can see, this is a bit different. So you've got a lot more spacesuits in here. There's a little rec room in here for the crew. So you've got a pool table like we had in the 600i, and to the addition of that, which is very cool, you've got like a little gaming table. So I wonder if you'll be able to play games and things in here. So this is very much a crew rec room because this is the crew side. In fact, if I think in here, yes we go. As you can see, we're back in the crew quarter room where we got stuck before. So the crew quarter room is down on the lower decks, right near the hangar. So we shall make our way back around here. I can't remember if there's an elevator around here somewhere. Of course there is, because this is the galley, isn't it? Let me back in. I want to use the lift. There we go. Take us back up to the foyer. Whereabouts did this bring us? Okay, this brought us to the bar. Lighting bugs. Oh, I just love the aesthetic of this. Like these moving images around the top of the bar and stuff. It's all Origin concept art, which is kind of cheesy, but I love it at the same time. Looking out across the deck there. And then going back into here again, we've got the private dining area. So this is like, if in here is where you would have your normal guests. You would entertain your normal guests and have them, they can have their drinkies and their foodsies in here. And then in here is like, this is where the dude stands with the clipboard where he says, if your name's not down, you're not coming in. This is like the private members area for the organisation board meetings. Oh, that was cool to watch. That's what I mean. Did you see that there? I think that it has some LOD issues where it's not loading the 890 properly when it's at a distance, because let's face it, this thing has a metric fuck ton of stuff to load. I'm kind of like wanting to stand here and wait for someone to mess about using the hangar. But I don't think if I can get hold of one of these in game that I'm ever gonna get bored of this ship. Like when I've flown previous ships in Star Citizen, I tend to go through a phase where literally doing laps between Olisar's hoops, where I will buy things like, or I will use the credit that I have accrued over the years of buying several ships and stuff from subscriptions and things like that. I've got to the point where that got me to Concierge, and I have bought my I bought my Constellation Phoenix and I bought my 600i, and I adored those things. But the 600i I got a bit bored with, because let's face it, compared to some of the, even just the design stuff in here, it's not as fleshed out as it could be, like the terrible crew quarters and things like that. It's still a very pretty ship and very functional, don't get me wrong, but it's going to have nothing on this. And the Constellation Phoenix would have been my go-to ship, because I just love the Phoenix. I don't think I would get that bored of the Phoenix, because it's the Tora that I want. Someone's actually shooting at us. How dare they? Rude. Here comes another. Oh, whoa! I think that was an 890. Was being the operative word. But yes, I don't think I could get bored of one of these. There's so much to it, and there is so much for the potential of what it could do. Like, there's a lot of people who are going to say, you know, oh, you can't do a lot with it now because tons and tons of the mechanics are in game. Yes, very true. That applies to a lot of the ships though. But with this, you can have huge amounts of people on board. You could have a server's amount of people on board on this ship and you'd still never get bored. You can use it to transport people's ships. You can have fun organisation events literally on the ship. You don't even have to visit a planet or take people to a planet or anything like that. Oh dear, this thing's going into quantum. Or it got interdicted. Am I dying? No, it's just because the lighting changed. I'm going to be sure. Duck and cover. Oh no, he's thrown the glasses all over the place. But with this thing, you can use it for cargo runs, even though it can't land everywhere. You know, there's a lot you can do with it. I think that gives it a lot more of a feel for other ships than many of the other ships I've played with in the game. Like when the Reclaimer first came out, I love the Reclaimer to bits, but it's big, it's bulky, it can't carry cargo easily, you can't get into it very easily. It's kind of like a one-trick ship. You get into it, you take it somewhere, and then you get out, and then you can't get back in because all the mechanics to get into it are broken. This guy is taking this thing to Daymar. This is going to be an adventure. No, Ethan, we're not back to 3.2. 3.6.2, that is my mistake. I'm not very well. I'm going to use that excuse over and over again. I have a nasty sinus infection that I've had it for over a week now, and putting it brutally, I want it to fuck right off, because I want my ability to play games back, and I'd like to go back to work and do things. Here we go. That took like a second, so this thing's jump drives must be huge. Sticking with this one because I do want to see what this thing looks like when it's landed. The hangar is opening. Is it the hangar opening? No. I thought the hangar was there. I heard sounds and then something lit up at the front there. I wonder if he was just turning the front lights on. You're into Arcort mining, apparently. As the engine's kicking in. Just got a bottle of random champagne. Can I, please tell me I can drink it. Oh. Champagne Jean-Luc. Well, that's clearly not a reference at all, is it? Produced in France. Pour Jean-Luc. Is that Versailles in France? I do like that. Put that back on the table. We're on the dark side, which is a little bit disappointing, but never mind. You see what I mean by like the reflections and the glare in here? It's still super high. Like I can barely see anything out the windows on the dark side. Ooh, here, that was pretty quick. This thing was pretty nippy then. Having not flown all of these yet, I can't tell you how the handling is. Is he down? I'm guessing he must be. Let's go to the elevator down back and have a look. He's actually down. Wow. Oh, that power down sound is immense. This elevator, again, not quite looking like it wants to play. Can we call it back down straight away? Yeah, so this is a bit wobbly, but I'm wondering if that's because it's not landed level. Can still get onto it though, on Daymar's surface. These lights here are like the ones on the Reclaimer, on the bridge side elevator, so that you know where to stand if you want to call things. Like I'm going to have to jump to be able to call this one again, I think. But that's the idea. Look at the size of this landing gear. This thing is colossal. When the landing gear has struts like that, like steps to help you get onto the landing gear, like it's like a physical run to get to the front landing gear from the rear landing gear. That is a turret there, I believe. Pops out. It's one of the thrusters on the bottom. That looks very cool compared to, say, like the 600i's landing gear. It must fold up in a pretty unique way. It's also embedded in a rock, which I imagine can't be healthy. Like the size of the pistons compared to a person. The hydraulics in this thing. It's just mind-boggling. God, it's just... I love it. I don't have any other words for it, like, compared to a 600i or a Constellation Phoenix, where, you know, I really love those and I thought they were cool, but this thing just knocks them clean all out of the water, and I do want it to be my ship when I get going good and hard into Star Citizen. I don't want it to promote, you know, some massive organisation or anything, even though I am part of Synchronizers. I just want it to be able to have that nice experience exploring all the moons and the planets around Star Citizen itself. I'm going back up inside now. Didn't intend for it to go up straight away, but I'm guessing there's someone who wants to come up, or go down rather. Oh, there they are. There's like a window in this bit so you can see down, you see? You'll be able to tell when the elevator is deployed. That's another thing they were saying on the stream earlier on today. God, I love this thing. I just love it so much. We're running through this way and go back to the hangar maybe. See if we can get this thing to go up, or in the very least try and take off in it. It is indeed huge. It is hookin' big, as some people I know might say. Okay, see if we can get this thing to go up now. No, doesn't want to go. Right, see if we can move this eclipse out. Ah, the eclipse isn't unlocked. That's a pain in the bum. Otherwise I'd try and move it. But you get the idea. Oh, no, it's going. Eee! Oh, and now I'm struggling. Oh! Things are breaking. Call it tentatively. And like magic, it's gone. Send it again. I'm wondering where it... I just want to see where it flung it, most importantly, because it probably launched it. So here we go, there's the main deck of the 890 jump. As I understand, as you can see, I have like Damar's gravity here, I'm able to jump higher, whereas the landing pad here has stronger gravity. So the gravity, the landing pad itself has gravity, just like Olisar's large pads do. So, can I get down here without dying? because I want to try and fly something up here. That hurt my legs, but it didn't kill me. Okay. Now normally you can spawn things like M50s here. This is going to be the last thing I'm going to try, and then I am going to go to bed because I'm shattered thanks to my currently rotting left hand side of my face. I wasn't expecting them to fire out Wave 1 at just gone 1 o'clock in the morning UK time. Good, my M50. Perfect. M50, it's about the same size as an A5X. In fact, I think it's a little bit smaller. As you can see, I don't have many other ships on my list at the minute. That's because I've melted them all because I want to buy an 890 jump. So we aren't going to go far. I just want to see if we can get onto the landing bays here. Oh no, they've sent them away. Let's see if they humour me. Oh, there's the eclipse. Oh dear. We'll not say anything. Let's put it this way. I won't say anything if you don't. Oh god, the VTOL is so wonky. Perfect. I'm trying to land an MPUV down. It's a little bit wonky, but it's working. That's so cool! A little bit of a golf clap there. Self-celebration. I'm so impressed with that, and I hope you guys are as well. Let's just head back through. Oh, we've got another person coming out now. Someone else just exploring it, I think. Oh, I love this. I'm just in love with the ship. I didn't realise it had the basketball court markings as well on the floor there. But making use of space where you have it, I suppose. It's not like this ship has an underabundance of it. So going out into space. And go with taking people with the 890, and then you can have your little racer runabout on board, and then you can have like an 85X as a little other runaround. Fantastic stuff. I love it. And go back up to the restaurant / bridge, because the sun should be coming up now. There we go, look at that. Beautiful. A little sunrise on Daymar to finish off with, and there's the hangar bay. Oh. Perfect little first introduction to the 890 jump, so I hope you did enjoy that, guys. If you've not seen that yet, and if you didn't watch the show that was on Twitch earlier on, it's now on Star Citizen's channel, so if you haven't watched it yet, it's the latest Star Citizen live, and like a couple of the devs run around with Disco and they show everyone the interior of the 890 as I have done here, so go and have a look at that if you want to see some more 890 stuff. But for now, I'm going to have a play with this tomorrow and likely over the weekend, praying that I can buy it in the meantime, because I do want to. But for now, I am going to call it a night and go to bed because I am knackered and I want to try and heal my face a bit more for next week. So thank you very, very much for watching. If you are Wave 1, you can go and do this yourself now. So if you're Concierge as a subscriber, please don't subscribe. If you're not a subscriber just because you want to fly the 890, I don't think it'll be very long before they throw this thing into live. Then by all means, go and check it out because you can do that now. And I'll see you all in the next video, hopefully over the weekend, or if not then it will be around the launch of Classic World of Warcraft. So yeah, have a good weekend everybody.